going on, guys? It's Red Bull Tanker, and welcome back to Operation Radar, turn 12 for the Allies. Well, uh, as you can see, the North Koreans and the Chinese are really putting the boot to us now, so let's see what we can do. Alright, 16 for South Korea, bought 5 infantry, no combat. Just going to take the 5 infantry, put it with the 8th Army. Because they don't have anything over here. We are, just on the safe chance, we are going to also transfer this to here. Get that out of there and away from the enemy in case they come down here and take Chinju. Next, all right, that's it for South Korea. So they will collect 13. They saved 1, so they will have 14. The U.S. with 50 just did a massive infantry purchase, a transport and 15 infantry, restocking every single infantry division in theater. Combat, the U.S. is going to try and run basically they got to try and run this AAA belt. They get shot at from this AAA, get shot at by that AAA, and if they survive, they get to bomb, and then on the way back, they get shot at by this AAA again, since AAA gets to shoot at all passing aircraft. So, let's start with the first 2 AAA and see what happens. Okay, damage. Okay, 4. And then final AAA on the way out. Oh, all right, the bomber made it. So I'm just going to put him back here real quick. 4 damage on the Pyongyang factory. All right, no other combat for the U.S., just non-combats. The 45th Division with part of the 25th will land in 9th Corps' area. Another transport for 7th Fleet. It'd be nice if I could just move these transports back onto the supply track. Just push them back so I don't have to keep spending money on transports. That'd be a interesting rule to maybe try and play with at some point. Okay, then moving along the supply track. Those tank destroyers. All these mech. We'll put these infantry up. These aircraft. Going 1, 2. And then at the end of the turn, the U.S. will collect 50. All right, 20 for the UN. They're buying an air transport with 2 infantry. Combat, they're going to try and do another bombing run on the Chinese bridges. So the bomber from Gwangju is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and bomb. All right, it's inherit AAA. Miss. Damage to the bridge. 4. Okay. Non-combats. Bomber will move back. Two tanks arriving at the UN beachhead here. Moving you there. Get you there. Oh. Couple more. Another transport aircraft. All right. I hate to say it, guys, as much as I don't want to bring the Russians in, I feel like the only way... Alright, hold on. Let's finish up the UN quick. Alright, so we deployed the forces, moved the forces along the track, brought the bomber back, collecting 20 for 26. Like I was saying, guys, I'm not sure. I almost feel like we got to make the... As much as I don't want to pull the Soviets into the game, boy, do I feel like at this point, I think the Allies are going to possibly need the atomic bomb if they're going to want to try and survive this war or do anything to get an advantage. But we will have to see. I actually do want to have to look over the excuse me. Sorry. Have to see what we do about atomic weaponry. But like I said, well, I mean, gosh. I mean, this initial thrust from the Soviets might not be that bad, and then, like I said, any further Soviet purchases would have to come along the track here, so we could, I mean, if we did start a war, or if we did bring the Russians into the war, they'd have to come through the mountains, so that would buy us some time, but that's going to be a difficult one. All right. Communist 28, Allies 9. We are moving on to turn 13, June 1951. It has now been a full year since this conflict has begun, and it is not looking good for the United Nations forces. So, but, you know, everything has, these games always have a way of changing. Sometimes the dice all of a sudden go in your favor, and you're going straight on. But that's going to be it for now, guys. We'll see you next time for Communist Turn 13. So until then, guys, as always, take care.